My name is Ryan Stanley. I became an owner of the Soul of Yoga in March of 2017. Working in Constant Contact, there were features that I was hoping for within Constant Contact that I wasn't getting. So when we would talk about an assumption around, well, we think customers would open more emails if we did it this way, and we would be betting on those assumptions. And I'd always come from a background of not just betting on it, but actually testing it to make sure, because a lot of things can just be counterintuitive. You can think that customers will want it one way, but they actually want something different. There was no features within Constant Contact that were at least easy to find and easy to use. The big feature of NamasteLight was being able to actually see your content testing and sort of the way customers interacted with it immediately after you did a send, where it was assembling the information graphically in a dashboard where you could deduce what actually made the most sense for you going forward. Or even like the better feature was subject testing dynamically within the campaign. So you're sending it out to the first, you're launching your campaign, you're basically walking away from it. And based on the first 20, 30, 40%, whatever you set, of opens that you get, whatever better subject is prevailing is used for the rest of the campaign. You know, before we would have had to do one campaign, let it sit, another campaign at the same time. We'd have to segment those customers on our own, make sure the segmentation was done randomly. And all of that would be too much of a headache just to do a simple subject test. So we'd be doing it over time and trying to learn from over time. But now it's like you set 3 different subjects in one campaign, you launch it after the first 20% is opened, the campaign knows which one is the most effective subject. So that's a pretty amazing feature to be able to have. Also, the automation of even things like a follow-up email that you want to send to people who clicked a more interest button or something like that. Those things of creating segments and then actually setting workflow around it. I don't think there's anything at this price level that touches it. So, and also I think there's a consideration when I talk about price level of if you're in a yoga studio environment and you have a lot of turnover of customers, then you may have a much larger database of customers that you're emailing to than your actual current population that's spending money. And it's worth it for you to maintain that database, but if you're paying an enormous amount on the per customer level for your email platform, like some of the other choices like MailChimp, for instance. MailChimp was way out of the price range for the number of customers we had. This was much more in line with the pricing of Constant Contact, but more in line with the features of MailChimp. The dashboards are really effective actually at letting you read the results. So a graphical representation of how customers interact with your emails is one of the best things about it, where you have basically bubbles that emerge on the places that customers click or want to get more information through your newsletters or emails. And so instantly as you pull up the response, you're seeing like the whole email and you're seeing where are the biggest bubbles. So where did I have the most interaction? And then you can drill down into that content and see other information. You know, one feature that was really great about it was the ability to easily set up customer preferences and forms within it to manage those customer preferences. So we didn't ever get past that threshold. We had, one unsubscribe button, but we couldn't really communicate with our customers around, well, what type of content would you like? And NamasteLight allowed us to set that up and finally get to over that hurdle. I don't think it's more complicated than any other email platform to set up. It has more features, so you would expect it to be more complicated, but it's really not more complicated than any other platform to set up. I think it's intuitive enough that most people who have worked with any other email platform before will know how to convert from that email platform to this email platform. Even if you just got the subject line testing functionality out of it, it'd be worth the conversion on its own. If same price, more testing functionality, and the testing is so simple to implement. You're literally, when it's giving you that dynamic content option right as you're launching your campaign, it's just like one of the last steps. Do you want to test different subjects? But it's worth it to put the effort into it, because before you'd send it blindly and you wouldn't know if it was worth it to put the effort into it. Now you at least feel like, okay, for this work, I can see the return that I'm actually getting out of it. Based on my personal experience, the fact that my cost was about equal with Constant Contact for NamasteLight and the fact that the feature set blew away Constant Contact. To get a product like NamasteLight with that feature set for this cost is definitely something I'd recommend they look into. To transition from one to the other, if you have more customers outside of your operating system, then you've got to be very careful about, okay, what if this doesn't work for me? Will I lose all the historical records in the database and everything from the old email platform? So one best practice in business that I just picked up over the years was running systems in parallel for a little while until you really know that the new platform is working. And I think it was probably out of more just paranoia than anything, because the outcome was it all worked fine and I didn't have any issues. I would have way more confidence to switch it now with the way I know Namaste handles things.